Oh my gosh, what a bunch of idiots. Hey, I love you guys. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to It Came From GenX. I am Keith Porter, along with two of the biggest morons you ever want to do a podcast with, Brian Fisher and Mike Skinner. What's up, fellas?
Hey, man.
Well, we are three again today. Welcome back, Skinbone. Good to see you, my brother.
Yep. Thank you. Try to muscle through this without too much coughing today.
Yes, that's right. You just take it easy, latch on. You know, Skinner, our Fish and I'll carry the heavy weight, and you just jump in where you can. And
just glad I'm able to be back on the show this week.
Amen, amen, amen. Our prayers are with you, with Marcy, her mom, the whole family.
Yes,
we are all family, so we're all in this together. And we just want to reach out to them, let them know we love them, and we are praying for you. So,
absolutely,
guys, weekends. I know, Skinner, you've been laying low, not doing much. Fish, how was your weekend?
Weekend was beautiful. Great time with Allie. She'd been sick as well, but now she's feeling well, fortunately. So
good.
Nice quality time, nice dinners out, Christmas lights. And if you're in the Northeast Ohio area, Akron area, Ohio, where we are, go check out Stan Hewitt. Give them a free plug here. So that every year they do like a holiday festival thing, not festival thing, but they set up lights. It's like they deck the hall. So they decorate the historic house where the Cyberdings lived. And if you're not from this area, they founded Goodyear. I know if you know the company Goodyear, of course.
Yes.
They decorate the house beautifully, different themes, trees. This year was a holiday movie theme. Walk the grounds, tons of lights. So go check that out. It's a really nice Christmassy thing. And actually, speaking of Christmas, Skinner, we have a special treat today. Skinner's going to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" during this episode. So you guys are going to be
sit back and just listen to that. Yeah.
Because it'll be for real treat. Yep.
Actually,
we'll do it as a mini-sode, maybe, Keith. We'll just have Skinner just read that.
I want the 12 days of Christmas.
Just sung. I like it sung.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, there you go.
Good,
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
I had a good weekend. I played the drums for Spotlight Dinner Theater at the Lincoln Theater in Massett, Ohio, on Lincoln Way. It was a Carpenter's Christmas special. And I was honored to be with some of the most talented musicians I've ever played with. Just brilliant people, brilliant young ladies singing, along with Mark Atkins, the owner of Spotlight. And it was something different, and it was very, very nice. It was a Carpenter, so I played 30 songs and didn't crack a sweat.
So it's like the group, the Carpenters, the former brother-sister duo.
Yes, right.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. No, it's a bunch of people who work with wood got together and had a Christmas. But
excellent. Just clarifying.
Okay, that's fair enough. One of the most talented groups ever, especially Karen Carpenter. I don't think people really understood, as tragic as her life was, how talented this woman was.
Sure.
She's known for her voice. She's known for her piano playing. But what people don't know is what an amazing drummer she was. And if you want to see something incredible, pull up Karen Carpenter on the drums on YouTube. It'll blow your mind. So,
how about that?
Yeah, it was great. It was very challenging for me. I was playing, sleigh bells and all these different percussions. It was just great. And Steele came down today and took me to lunch for my belated birthday. And he gave me just what I wanted, Amazon gift cards, man. That boy knows his daddy. So that was a really nice day today. And looking forward to doing the show, fellas.
Very good.
So, with that being said, we got to talk about shirts today. I'm going to go first because it is 2 weeks I've been waiting to flaunt my Bat Elvis shirt. Elvis, my favorite singer of all time, along with Michael Jackson and Tremaine Hawkins and Jeff Tate. Given to me by my boy here, Brian Fisher, for my birthday. I want to publicly tell you thank you and how much I love this shirt. And I'm only going to wear this on special occasions. So thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
Very good, man. You're welcome, man. I love the design. I remember we shot an episode. I didn't know that about you, that Elvis is one of your favorite singers of all time. I'm like, it's mine too. And I'm like, well,
since I was a little boy, yeah,
that's great. So enjoy it.
I used to be on the front porch doing all the old doo-wop Elvis numbers. I had my sister and her friends in the background. I would teach them to go, and they would hate me for that. While I say Elvis, they thought something was wrong with me.
Elvis,
as you guys do.
Yeah, Elvis Christmas album.
Little Porter on the front porch.
That's great.
Strumming with the Twitch.
Yes, that was me.
Doing the.
That's great.
Yep.
Oh my gosh,
that was me. And Elvis Christmas album, one of my favorite albums of all time.
That is Christmas right there. Yep.
Yeah, and we did Blue Christmas Saturday night. That was great. Yeah.
That's terrific.
First time ever getting to play that. So all right, cool. Mickey Mouse as Santa.
It's like a retro. Yeah, it's a retro Mickey in a Santa suit. Just love the design. Just I like the classic Mickey Mouse shirts and all that. So yeah, saw this years ago, picked it up. So absolutely.
Cool. And even though it's not season, go ahead, man.
That's it.
Okay, even though it's not season, Skinner is sporting his beloved Cleveland Guardians. Do I dare say?
I don't say that. It'll always be
you're sporting a Cleveland Indian shirt. Yes,
it's just a block Cleveland. Yeah, but it's definitely baseball.
When Skinner digs his heels in, he digs them in, don't he?
No, I am wearing a new Cleveland Guardians hat. Thank you very much. That. Yes, indeed.
The C is different. Yes, I know.
C is different. I have no interest in that flying G crappy logo, but this C's not bad. I like a simple, clean. There you have. I just got this.
That logo looks like they had a teacher go to her third grade class and say, "Who wants to win the Cleveland Guardian logo contest?"
Yeah, not the best.
And they picked the worst one.
Right.
Okay, listen. We got a great show ahead of you for you people. We want to thank you, all our listeners. Friends, family, our listeners in Germany. Man, that's starting to grow, and we are just so excited about that. Ireland and the UK. And with that ado, Fish, tell them where they can find the show.
All right. Well, you might be listening to us on WMVU.org, Global Internet Radio, Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Recorded episode every week there for you. Just pull up the site, hit play live, and you can check us out there. With other good content, shows, music, etc. You can listen to us whenever you want to on demand on your favorite podcast platforms. You can find us on many platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast is a new one, and more. Just give us a subscribe for free, and as we post episodes, they'll show up in your podcast feed. Listen to us for free whenever you want to. Rate and review the show whenever you're able to. It does help others find us. We appreciate that. All show information, all links. We are on YouTube, so we have videos of our show posted every week as well. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Links to all these are on two main areas. Our Linktree account. Just pull up Linktree. It came from GenX, one word, and you'll find us out there. Nothing to log into, just simply a platform with links to our stuff and our website. It came from GenX, one word, .wordpress, also one word, .com. CameFromGenX.wordpress.com. All show information is there. Links to all episodes, links to videos, promos, bios, fun stuff. Check us out there. And if you are inclined, Rap sheet, absolutely. If you are inclined to throw us a couple bucks, consider becoming a Patreon. Link to there is on our website too. You can do a one-time donation if you feel like it, or 50 cents, $1 a month, whatever you want to do. You don't have to do that, but if you do, maybe you buy us a new shirt or Skinner some cough syrup or something like that. I'm gonna wear
this one out. So I've been a new shirt. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So tell a friend. Sorry, Keith. Tell a friend. Subscribe. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. That's all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, not only is my boy Skinner good at spitting up phlegm, but he's pretty good at spitting out kids too. And one of them is the producer of It Came From GenX, Michael Skinner Jr. And we want to say hello and thank you to him. And he's a listener by force. He has to listen to the show, so I get a kick out of his comments. But he's forced to listen to it just to produce the thing. So he's always got some comments to say about something we said. So I kind of get a kick out of that. And also to Christovus Dominic, our beloved DJ at WMBU.org. Okay, so Skinner, not the greatest of news to start off with world news, but let's get it going. World news.
Yeah, unfortunately, on Friday, December 10th, that's a dear day to my heart. It's my mother's birthday and the day she had passed. And unfortunately, it was a day of destruction in Mayfield, Kentucky. Did you guys hear about the tornado that just ravaged the area?
Who did?
And I say, who hasn't heard about this? I don't understand these catastrophic things that happen. And not that it's easier to see this coming during the day, but when it's at the dead of night, at 9 o'clock in the evening, it's dark out, you don't see anything coming. It just makes this situation so much worse.
Wow.
About 5:30, sirens went off on Friday evening in Mayfield for area. The area was having some bad weather, and the sirens sounded people to take shelter, and nothing about came about. People started to come back out, knowing that there was still the area still had some bad weather, and inside this plant called the Mayfield Consumer Products Plant, which they make scented candles. About 5:30, once the sirens went away, people started asking to go home. They wanted to go home. They wanted to check on their loved ones. They wanted to check on their belongings. They were afraid for their lives being at this warehouse, knowing that there was still problems in the area. I have a quote here from one individual who overheard a manager talking to 4 or 5 people saying, quote, "If you leave, you are more than likely going to lose your jobs," end quote. Some employees were told to go back to work, and this was a 3 to 4 hour time frame when the second set of alarms went off, and this is when the tornado came through and absolutely leveled the area. Not just the plant, but for miles. This tornado just ravaged the area. 8 people currently have died. There's 93 people still missing. And the biggest thing right now is people are asking, why the hell were they not sent home when they were asked to go home prior to the second set of alarms going off? You've got the people saying that they had protocols in place and they didn't tell people that they weren't allowed to go home, blah, 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 blah. And I find it a bunch of horse crap. When did the mighty dollar become more important than people's safety and well-being? That's my biggest question out of all this.
What day was the dollar invented?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, they're in business to make money. But when is people's safety and well-being put in the back burner just because of the mighty dollar is most important?
Right. Let me ask you, what was that death toll you had?
I had, at the last I checked, it was 8 people died, 93 still missing.
It's over 70 now.
Okay, so since I saw the story earlier today, so yeah, there's been quite a few that have been found since I did.
Yeah, it's over 70. They're expected for that number to grow considerably.
Probably even more.
As you get through the rubble, unfortunately. Well, I'm going to say this. And I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. I'm assuming there were no black people that worked there. because if he had told them go back to work, they would have told him, you can kiss my... I have a hard time believing any black people work there. But just make a little laughter of a terrible thing. I'm going to say this. If you went back to work, that's on you. I know it sounds mean, but here's the deal. You go back to work, boom, and they were wrong, and you lose your life. The game's over. Go home, and the tornado's not that bad. Or, I'm sorry, and the tornado comes, and you get fired. You can sue. You can do all sorts of things. To tell somebody in the face of that they can't go check on their family, you got to go back to work. I know what I would have told my boss. So I don't mean to sound cruel, but if you went back to work, that's on you.
Interesting thought.
It's not the bosses that put the almighty dollar above people. It's the people that went back to work that put the almighty dollar above their family. Because I would have told you what you could go do with that. I'm going to go get my family.
Interesting thought, Fish.
Same thing I did with 9/11. All I cared about was, where's my son?
Yeah, it's just a terrible tragedy. I mean, I tend to agree with something that, but at the same token, I mean, these people are probably nervous. It's their livelihood. I don't know. You just don't know what to do. I mean, some people they know they shouldn't stay, but the bosses know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the liability against this company, I'm sure, which is coming from families and whatnot who lost loved ones here. That's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's not just one thing that the plant got leveled and people lost their lives, but you've got this secondary storyline within the walls of this place that's just sickening to listen to.
Yeah.
To think about, to understand. I don't know.
When you, in my opinion, and I ain't saying I'm perfect at this, but I think when you become an adult, especially being a man, I've had to make sure that I understand what my priorities were and who my priorities were too.
Yeah.
And not to let anything get in the way of that in the order that it is. I don't let anything or anybody shake my faith. And I don't let anything stop me from putting my family first. And I don't let nothing stop me from helping my friends. Job-wise, that's iffy subject. But if it comes to the safety and well-being of my family, there ain't no job in the world that would make me even hesitate or pause. None at all. Just none at all. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'm gone. It could be a false alarm, but I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
Tornado alarms. So I'm just out the door. All right. Thank you, Skinner. Heck of a story, man. It's sad all around. I didn't mean to sound harsh. I feel terrible for everybody who's had the loss. It's all tragedy. It's all bad. But wow, I don't have nothing else to say. All right, thank you, Skinner. Just even getting through that. I know it's been a difficult time for you, and this is getting old. But we appreciate that story. Okay, so let's move on to some music and some world news. I mean, music and some sports here. Okay, so guys, I got to get this off my chest. In the world of sports, here comes, baby. For those of you who don't know, I am a live hard, not die hard, but live hard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And we had one of the toughest games of the season, which it is every year for us, with the Baltimore Ravens last Sunday. Is the most physical game usually of the year. And we had that game, and then on a quick turnaround on a Thursday, had to play again, playing for our playoff lives. I think that's a load of crap, and the NFL should be ashamed of themselves. The fact that Dalvin Cook ran for nearly 200 yards in the first half did not surprise me. The fact that we were getting blown out did not surprise me. We were tired. We were sluggish. I mean, you got to think about it. You play Sunday night. You have Monday where guys got to come in for treatment. Tuesday, you have practice. And nobody practiced. All they did was do a walkthrough. And Wednesday, you got to get ready to travel. That's a load of crap. But anyway, that being said, I was very proud of my team to see them fight and come back the way they did. Ben showed his championship medal. Najee Harris ran for almost 100 yards. The O-line started to come together. But wait.
Then Chase Claypool happened.
One guy decided, you know what? This is all about me. Number 11, Chase Claypool. First of all, this idiot's been starting crap in the media saying that he's been going around the facility complaining that they should have music during practice because you want to dance and be cool. Then you get to the game, and a game which Steelers could not afford to lose. I believe their playoff percentage went from the high 30s to 7%, something like that, if they were to lose. And you decide, because you caught a pass, to push a Minnesota Vikings player in the helmet right in front of a referee and get a personal foul for no reason at all. Cost us 15 yards. And then, of course, the most egregious play of all, I hate this about wide receivers. They make a first down and play, and they got to showboat, oh, I made a first down, like they made the first one in history. 38 seconds left, no timeouts. Every second counts. He catches the ball and gets up and showboats and poses. It was so egregious. Number 51 of the Pittsburgh Steelers had to run over and snatch the ball from him and say, what are you doing, fool? Paraphrasing. And he started to fight with him because he was mad. He took the ball from him, not realizing how precious every second was. To top all that out, he got into the press conference. He got called on it and wouldn't even own up to it. This is the most selfish player I have ever seen wear a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. I can't stand the guy. I've been saying it all year. I don't like him. He's a home run hitter. That's all he can do. So he's one-dimensional player for I'm concerned. You can get rid of him. And he did something the other night that every Pittsburgh Steeler right now is just losing it because they know what it takes not only to be an NFL player, but a Pittsburgh Steeler. That type of selfish play does not go. We never had wide receiver divas, high-profile quarterbacks. We've always been more of a working-class type football team. And then this guy comes and pulls some crap like that. So I'm really highly upset about this. And I was glad to see others like Ryan Clark call him out in the media. Ryan Clark said he is the most selfish player in the NFL. So, guys, I started thinking about over history, some of the most selfish players we've ever seen in sports who would match up to Chase Claypool. And I'm going to name a couple. And there's you guys either comment or name somebody that you have on the list. Number one on my list is a guy I can't stand by the name of Randy Moss. I know he's in the Hall of Fame. I know he's one of the greatest ever. I used to love to watch him play, but I can't stand this guy. He's a selfish jerk, and he cost the Minnesota Vikings, in my opinion, opportunities to go to the Super Bowl. One of the most not common stories, but this is what happened when the Minnesota Vikings were playing in the NFC Championship game. Instead of getting warmed up with the team and getting ready, Randy Moss was on the side of the stadium arguing on the field with a security guard because the security guard wouldn't let his boys come sit up front. Wasn't even their seats. And he's arguing with a security guard because he felt like he was Randy Moss. They could sit where they want to sit. This dude's got a game to play. He's not dialing in with the team, dialing in with Chris Carter, dialing in with your quarterback, but you're giving crap, acting like, you're some kind of 5-time Super Bowl champion and you should get your way. Never could stand this guy. Of course, he did some of the most despicable things in NFL history. He caught the touchdown pass and did the moon simulation. I thought that was pretty sick. Guys like that were all about themselves. Chad Johnson was the same way. I got tired of look at me. Hey, everybody, look at me. And, instead of focusing on the team. And, of course, Terrell Owens, I thought, was another moron. One of my favorite players is the guy from the Dallas Cowboys who smacked – it was Dallas that popped Terrell Owens in the face for dancing on their logo. That was the greatest play ever, and I love that guy for that. Always will love him for that. But those are some of the most selfish players I have ever seen. Fish?
Yeah, I had Terrell Owens on my list when the ridiculous celebrations, like you say, running out when he played for San Francisco, going out to the Star and celebrating and all, even to play for Dallas. I mean, just things to call attention, way too much attention to himself and away from the team. I think maybe he got a little bit better toward the end of his career, perhaps, but I mean, sheer talent. That's what's a bummer about some of those guys. I mean, sheer talent, and they just can't find a way to, keep it about the team versus themselves.
Yeah, and when you saw some of the demonstrations, you have to wonder how much energy and time was put into this. That maybe could have been put into game planning or this or that or whatever.
Chad Johnson too, right? Was with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chad Johnson was one of the worst,
Cincinnati,
man.
Right?
I mean, you got the nerve to have a fake Hall of Fame jacket ready,
right?
And of course, the idiot for the Saints that have the cell phone hidden up under the goalpost. Right? Come on, man. And it's like, you know what? Whatever happened to Roosevelt? Walk softly and carry a big stick. You want to go under the radar, unassuming. You don't want to put a target on your back. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sorry.
Go ahead. The Pittsburgh Steelers right now are in uncharted territories. It started with Brown, Antonio Brown, and now it's even worse. Juju is more obsessed with being a TikTok star, and now Chase Claypool is following right in his steps. Guys that are about themselves and not about the team. Juju was going out to logos dancing before games and was getting his head knocked in, and so was the team. With everyone that he did, we lost that game. Skinner?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Skinner. Go ahead. No, I was going to say it was just in contrast, the guys that like Barry Sanders. One of the coolest things about him was that
handed the ball to the ref.
That's it. Scored a touchdown. And you talk to him about that. It's just like, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. It's my job.
He'd been there before.
Right. Exactly.
He acted like he'd been
the ball
before.
Yep.
Exactly. So that was cool. Him, Walter Payton, even Emmitt Smith got there too, and those guys, just the greatest of the great. Mm-hmm. Jerry Rice and all that. You didn't see those guys doing a whole bunch of celebrating.
Right. I argue with my son, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, stop it. You're being old, or this is that." And it's like, no, I'm not, son. There's a difference between celebration and just making an ass of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love Billy White Shoe Johnson and guys like that. You know what I'm saying? But that was just gotten too far. It's like, me. Go ahead, Skip.
Yep.
Look at the characters of the players today versus the players in the past. The character tells you everything. Claypool and Juju, they've learned from number one, the biggest asshole in football, Antonio Brown. They all three happen to be Steelers fans. I don't know how you guys deal with it. They're the biggest assholes in football, and they were all on the same team, but they learned from the number one asshole. You've got another one was Deion Sanders. There's another guy that his head was so
couldn't stand him.
It was so far out there. He was so talented, but he was such the biggest jerk on and off the field.
I love to watch Deion play, but I can't stand him. I can't stand anybody who has to create an alternate ego and speak of themselves in third person. I mean, come on, man. I just gets
when
old.
You become bigger than the game, you became nobody.
Yeah,
and that's the way I look at it.
And it got so carried away in Atlanta with him, Andre Rison, and all those guys. And they had MC Hammer on the sideline. I mean, Jerry Glanville lost that team, man. It was out of control, But another player is the epitome of selfishness. It was Bill Romanowski.
Yeah,
Bill Romanowski was so selfish. He was known for starting brutal fights in the locker room with teammates. And, of course, that highlighted when he busted the eye socket of a player, of a teammate, and ruined his career. His career was over because of a fight in the locker room against your own teammate. If that's not the epitome of selfishness, I don't know what is. And, of course, he was obviously roid raging back then in those days, too. But still, get some class, young people. It's not about you. The league was going on before you, it'll go on after you. You're here for a fleeting moment. And if this is what you want to leave, the legacy you want to leave, you know, you help yourself.
The joke's
You're not
on
going to
you.
last long. Yeah, it really is, because I know a player like Hines Ward or Troy Polamalu would clothesline these guys if they could see them and the stuff they're doing right now. So, okay. Anyway, also in music, this day in music, just saw a little thing about in 2005, a check, and of course it's CHEQUE, that was signed by John Lennon, made out to the Inland Revenue. That check sold for £2,000 at a UK auction. The Madam Lindy St. Clair, formerly known as Miss Whiplash, after she decided she had no use for it, put it up for an auction, made quite a little bit of money off of it. And it just got me thinking about the things that we will pay for, the artifacts, signatures sell for, lots of money, depending on whose signature it is. Obviously, cards, trading cards. Then you got the artifacts, player shoes and things of that nature. So I was just wondering, guys, what are the things, whether it be music, whether it be sports, whether it be pop culture, or whether it be history, artifact that you would pay good money for, or that would mean a lot to you? I don't want to sound like a 12-year-old, but a couple of things that hit me was I would love to have Mjolnir, the hammer of Thor. I think that would be like the best paperweight. It's just something really cool something to play with my hands while I'm working and keep me busy. I just think it'd be cool to have. Also, back in the day, in the early 80s, before there was NCW, way before WWE, there was NWA wrestling with Gordon Soley. And the belt that was the world championship belt that Ric Flair won from Harley Race was, I thought, the coolest belt ever in the history of belts. And I really love that belt. It meant a lot to me and my childhood. I would love to have a copy of that. The other thing is the original Batmobile from the TV series with Burt Ward and
Adam West.
That car was just something special. There was nothing cooler on television. I would love to have that car. And Eddie Van Halen's guitar, Blitzkrieg, or Dr. Frankenstein. It was like that guitar was just iconic in every video, every concert. I'm not a guitar player, but I would love to have it. And while we're talking about Van Halen, when I saw the drum set Alex played on the video Jump with the big 20-inch cymbals and the rototoms, I would just love to put 4 bass drums. I would just love to have that drum set. Skinner?
That's a pretty good group of things you talked about there.
Yeah.
You talked about it earlier, and I don't really have too much that I handle it. I used to collect, and I still do collect, some Coca-Cola Coca-Cola memorabilia.
Yes. Memorabilia. Gotcha.
If you guys remember my basement, my other house, I'd have some of that stuff up, and yeah, I'd go back and get some Coca-Cola stuff, some old vintage Coca-Cola.
I remember the little bottles in the trucks.
Yeah, I'd go and get the old bottle vending machines, things like that. Something that would just be vintage. It would be so cool, nobody else would have. But as far as that's memorabilia, I'm not really big into it. I would love to have maybe an old Babe Ruth signed autograph baseball or bat. Not a Yankees fan, but a baseball fan. That would be pretty cool from my end.
Okay, Bish.
Well, if this is assuming I could afford it and I had the space to properly display it, so I would. The props from the original Star Wars movie, almost anything.
Oh, gosh.
Oh yeah.
If you could give me a lightsaber, give me a blaster. If you really want to be greedy, give me an original like Stormtrooper uniform, or if you really want to go, something with Vader, anything like that. Some of the old models would be pretty cool to have and display properly. I'm sure some people own some of that, and I would assume do properly display them. So good for you if you do that. Like a flux capacitor would be awesome from Back to the Future.
right.
Or the DeLorean, if you want to really go nuts, to have something like that. A proton pack or a ghost trap from the original Ghostbusters would be pretty awesome to have. Yeah, those types of things.
Tricorder, Star Trek.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sports wise, give me something like a Larry Bird jersey or something like that. I saw he just turned 65 recently. Larry Bird, 65 years of age. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
And I just saw a story where he shocked a bunch of young players that went out and hit like 10 jumpers straight.
At 65, still can do it.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, that would be cool. But the Star Wars props, that would be probably number one if I could afford it. Just the impact of that I had as a kid on me, and just still a fan to this day and all that. So yeah.
One of my favorite episodes of Big Bang Theory reminds me of us. Is when they got a replica of the Time Machine from the movie Time Machine. Remember that one? Yeah, wow. Set it up in the living room. They're arguing we're going to keep it. That was so hysterical. And I could just see us over that. That would be great. Okay. All right. So that's it for music and sports. Real quick, I wanted to go over this last week. And it was an interesting article. It has nothing to do with music or sports, but it talked about Generation X characteristics that are appearing in the workplace that is differentiating us from the other generations. And I thought this was really spot on. And so I'll hit these real quick. Number one, this is Generation X is more direct. And I think this is very, very true. We seem to have the ability to speak. One thing I noticed about young people, they don't know how to talk to people. I especially when they get in like a business situation or an authoritative situation, they don't know how to speak for themselves. They got all the slang lingo and the street lingo, but they don't know how to talk directly for themselves. And I've noticed this more and more and more. They don't know how to speak professionally. I pride myself on the ability to talk with you guys. We can talk sports, we can talk street, but I know how to talk in a workplace environment if I get there. And I think that's on everybody to learn that for yourself. Thoughts on that, Fish?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a lost. It's not a lost art, but it's more difficult because you grow up these days and you don't have to. In your personal life, you barely have to talk to anybody. I mean, think about that.
That's a good point.
You barely talk to anybody. I mean, you could text and communicate that way, and it's actually almost unexpected, and some people may even consider it rude, oddly, to call somebody versus texting them. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow,
so
that's so true.
And it tends to carry over into the workplace. Obviously, we all grew up, having to communicate on the phone and in person. It's just something that we became more comfortable with. And I don't know.
I remember when I graduated college in 2008, I was very upset. I had the hardest time finding work. The highest honor that you could get in the field of criminal justice was the William P. Cannell Scholarship. I won that scholarship for excellence in criminal justice 2 years in a row. And when I graduated, I couldn't even get an interview at the William P. Cannell Justice Center, which is known as the Juvenile Center. And I won their scholarship 2 years in a row. And I was very frustrated. And I remember my wife at the time, her father was like, I don't understand. And when I explained it to him, he goes, I never thought about that, Keith. I said, listen, let me tell you something. When I was younger, I always felt that if I could get in front of somebody, I could get a job. I had that confidence in myself and my ability to speak that I knew I could get a job anywhere. Yep. Well, when you become fill out an application online. And there's no personality attached to that.
Yeah.
You're just another number. You lose that ability.
Sure.
And that kind of goes on with what you were saying. Good call. Okay, so another one I had, Skinner, if you want to comment on, was it said Generation X professionals embrace feedback and don't let negative feedback keep them up all night. Bible says every generation gets weaker and wiser, and these kids today cannot take feedback. They lose it. They're more suicidal, upset. They all like the lash out on social media. They're really, really weak. What do you think, Skinner?
Yeah, it's the thickness of their skin. They don't have it today.
There you go.
You know, our generation, we're not the baby boomers, but we're not the millennials or the Z's. We still have a backbone. We can still say what we want to say and feel how we want to feel, and not worry about what anybody else thinks. The same token is if I can come to you, Keith, and say, "Hey, I didn't like the way you did your story last week, and here's why." You're not going to sit there and fall into a cave and go, "Why doesn't Skinner like me anymore?" And that's what kids do today, and I don't understand where that came from.
Right. I know what you mean? What was wrong with my story?
Yeah, there you go. But I didn't raise my kids that way. I raised them to have a backbone, to accept criticism for what it's for, and that you either learn from it or it's detriment to you. And you better learn from it because it makes you a bigger, better, stronger person later on.
Right. Here's what
they go into a cocoon.
Let me read just what it says underneath it. Generation X professionals embrace feedback and don't let negative feedback keep them up all night. While millennials are a bit shocked when they are hit with critical feedback, Gen Xers were raised before a time when even the losing team got a trophy. As a result, they are looking for ways to improve, not ways to be praised. Awesome. Okay. Next one says Generation Xers embrace work-life and balance. We won't go too deep into that, but I think that's very true. Our parents work very hard, and today they don't want to work at all. I think that we have a nice balance of working hard but enjoying, understanding what it means to be with friends. We spent 10 years, guys, having poker games together every Monday just to embrace downtime and friends and things like that. We still do stuff together, and I think we have a nice balance with that. The other one is they have a hybrid relationship with technology. So true. Anything above us don't want to deal with it. I saw an older gentleman in college argue with his professors because he refused to type out his papers. He wanted to write them with a pencil. He did not want to learn anything about computers. It's 2008, bud. Sorry to tell you that. And of course, with millennials, it's too much technology. It's just the constant texting, like Fish was saying, no talking to one another, no interacting with one another, playing games online with one another, where we used to pile up in each other's house and play Atari all day. So they're kind of swamped with technology. We have a better balance in it. And the last one is Gen Xers are more adept to collaboration, understanding what it means to work together to make things happen. I believe we are the epitome of that. You guys comment on any of those things, Fish?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's like, I think we, whether you talk about collaboration, we know you can't get the job done on your own.
Right.
I almost anything. It's certainly in a workplace. It requires a team effort to be truly successful. I think along the way, we definitely have learned the importance of that, and we're not afraid to admit we don't have all the answers. We're not the smartest person in the room all the time. We need support of people that have, oftentimes, they have more knowledge and something. Whatever that
I have always felt anytime I was in a position of authority, the first thing I wanted to do is to get somebody smarter than me help working for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about even great, worker, all the great business leaders, they say the same type of stuff. Even the great coaches and all that stuff, they understand the importance of getting good people around them, leveraging different talents, different ideas, different points of view, whatever. And I think we definitely, exactly right. Exactly right.
Awesome.
So,
Okay. Any comments, Skinner?
I was just gonna say you should probably take this story up with Chase Claypool.
Oh,
The collaboration of people to get a job done. That's all I gotta say.
yeah.
Yep.
And well said. Okay, well, thanks, fellas, for that. Appreciate your input. Let's move on to some pop culture, Fish.
All right. Well, again, we had a significant death in the. Well, you know what? Before I get into that, you talk about teamwork. It just thought popped in me. You talk about teamwork. You talk about collaboration. You get a bunch of people together. They bring different ideas, different experience. It creates a lot of energy. It creates a lot of electricity, if you will. And another thing that generates a lot of energy and electricity is an electric bike.
Oh,
And some of the best electric bikes in the Northeast Ohio area can be found at one of our sponsors, RPM Bike Shop out of Carrollton, Ohio. Go check them out on Facebook, RPM Bike Shop. Photos of the bikes are there. Contact information is there. Check them out. Different sizes, different styles. These are rechargeable bikes. You can ride it like a regular bicycle on the trails around town, whatever. Or you can use an electric boost to get yourself up some tough terrain. Again,
like
travel out farther. Exactly right. If you just want to go out on a trail and just want to go out a little bit farther, and you're worried that it's going to be tougher to come back, use the electric boost to help you get back a little bit there. Check out more of the trail. Absolutely. So if you're into biking, you're into trail riding, you're into camping, and you just want to get around a little bit easier, whatever it is, go check out RPM.
Spring will be here before you know it. Definitely
That's right.
good time to go check them out now and get one. Absolutely.
Okay. That's right. So getting back to more sadder news. A famous author in our time passed away. Anne Rice died recently, 80 years of age. And if you're not familiar with Anne Rice, you're probably familiar with some of her work. Certainly, if you're our age, you probably are. If you're into goth and horror type stuff. She was the influential author of Interview with a Vampire. She actually died this past Saturday of complications of a stroke, poor lady. Very moving post by her son, Christopher. You can find it out there online. I'm not going to read that, but very moving tribute to his mother. She was a writer of Gothic fiction. With her book, she sold more than 150 million copies globally in her works. And certainly you are familiar with the Interview with the Vampire movie back in 1994. Very huge movie at the time. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Christian Slater. Huge movie. Actually, it was one of my favorite movies of the 90s period, actually. I thought that the screenplay was very good. The effects were terrific. Good stuff. So again, if you're into that stuff, you probably knew Anne Rice. Thoughts on Anne Rice at all? Keith, is this up your alley at all, her type of stuff, or not so much?
No, it's not. I'm very familiar with Anne Rice. I think the movie made her kind of a household name. I think the way it was advertised, obviously with Tom Cruise being in it, that was going to pump her up to a certain status. But I think the way the movie was advertised, it was never Interview with the Vampire. It was Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so her name became very popular. I saw the movie more than once. I liked the movie. I never followed too much of her after that. I started to have a problem with vampires because I used to believe, in them, and now I'm just kind of upset because I don't understand how anybody could be that well groomed and they can't see the reflection in the mirror. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. So,
Skinner, Anne Rice, or Interview with the Vampire? Any thoughts?
No, I don't have any thoughts on it. Sorry.
Rest in peace, Anne.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought this was interesting over the weekend here. the shares of Peloton. Now, you've probably heard of this. It's a fitness equipment company.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you probably know this. I'm sure
All
most
through the
people do, but
commercials.
yes, absolutely. So it's like a bike you can buy with a set a video instructor. They have different instructors out there that are trying to motivate you to keep going. Sex in the City has a current revival going on, the TV show from I guess it's the 90s, I guess. Anyway, on HBO Max now. So there's a few new episodes there. And recently, a character on the show was portrayed as dying from a heart attack after riding on her Peloton bike. Because of the television show, shares of Peloton fell 11.3% last week, a 19-month low. So just thought it was interesting that people are watching a television show, Sex in the City. Actually, you're invested in the show. You're invested in the characters and the realism or your perceived realism or whatever the hell it is. And because somebody died on the show, it impacted the stock market. I just thought that was fascinating how a television show could impact real life like that. I mean,
That's surprising.
I don't know. Go ahead.
It's what marketing is. That's what marketing is all about.
I guess so.
If LeBron James is drinking this, well, I'm going to drink it too because I want to play like LeBron James.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to wear these shoes. You know, I want to eat this type of food, this type of energy bar. That's what marketing is. I don't know why Peloton would agree to let their products be seen in any type of a negative light. You know, it's just like my music career. I've had all sorts of drum companies throw money at me as if I would sign a contract to never be seen with their equipment. And I'm like, sure, absolutely, you know.
Sure.
So, you know, look. Look, man, people are stupid, they're gullible, and that's what they relate to reality. You know, like I said, this person could have ate bacon for 6 days out of the week. We don't know why they fell over, but, you know, Peloton agreed to. But I don't feel sorry for Peloton. It balances out. This will make up for all the money you made by scaring people to death during the quarantine. You know, all the exercise had to come in-house now. All those people made billions and billions of dollars by, you know, in-house equipment. You got the thing with the mirror and the reflection and then all the video screens. So they'll be all right. I don't feel sorry for them.
It's funny. It's like, actually, it was a male character. Excuse me. So the character was called Mr. Big. And Peloton had to issue a statement.
Chris Knopf.
Okay. So it's that they had to say he lived an extravagant lifestyle, including cocktails, cigars, and big steaks, and he was at serious risk as he had a previous cardiac event in season 6.
Yeah, he's been on the show for years. Chris Knopf from Law and Order.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So they had to explain the history of a fictional character.
That's hilarious.
Led to his death.
That's hilarious.
To stop people from wait a minute.
Today's world.
You imagine people. It's just like, you know, you're gonna get one of those Peloton. Nah, you know what? I saw
Chris Knopf.
Yeah, I saw the Sex in the City. You know, they killed the guy had a heart attack on there. You know, I ain't buying that thing. You know that's a television show, right?
Mr. Big.
What? Just crazy.
To say something to kill Wolverine. I'm not buying that.
Yeah, that's funny. Actually, you mentioned LeBron James, and it's like if you drink what he endorses, you could play like him, right? You mentioned that. Mm-hmm. I've been drinking his Lobos tequila, and I'm not playing any better at all. I just have to say that at all. It's not helping my.
I'll bet you're not.
But you know what? I don't care as much.
I don't care a little bit.
I think that's what it's advertising. You won't play as well, but you won't care.
God.
Yeah, so you missed the whole thing.
Now you put that out there globally, and that's going to be taken.
Yeah,
it's going to be taken. Our listener in Germany may steal that and try to sell it to.
Drink Lobos. Your game will suck, but you won't care.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay, and then about the last thing I got, looking at time here. So in this ever-changing comic book world, And it's like more DC comics. Like, I don't know, but and again, it's it's in the LGBTQ world. So more and more comic book characters are coming out as gay or bisexual or whatever it is, which is whatever. Okay. New huge story. Okay. This particular iconic DC character, one of the cornerstones of the DC superhero world, recently locks lips with her girlfriend in the latest DC Comics Dark Knights of Steel series. So, and this particular character is now come out as bisexual.
Well, you said she, you cornerstone, so obviously it has to be Wonder Woman.
That is correct.
Who
so now you have
she's not wondering anymore.
That's right. That's a good one. That's a good one.
She's no longer curious.
She kissed the girl and she liked it.
Yeah,
that's right. So now you have John Kent, who is the son of Lois Lane and Superman, is bisexual. Robin, so not Dick Grayson, but I think the Drake kid is bisexual. Tim Drake. Thank you so much. And I don't know these storylines here. Well, I know Batwoman. I know Batwoman is gay. I know that.
Something.
Sure.
Let's see if you guys notice a trend here.
Yep.
Do you think because of the dominance that Marvel has had the last 10 years, you notice all these characters are DC?
Well,
do you think this is a desperate
could be
act to bring up?
It looks like it looks like it.
Now, one says there's a Captain America storyline this year. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm not saying it doesn't say that Captain America himself is gay or bisexual. That would shock the comic book world there too. But I guess Wonder Woman, it's like I'm sort of like, all right, I could see that, I guess, because you got the the Amazon, whatever. But it's just like you say, it's. I like the inclusion. I think it's good. I know, Keith, you and I have talked about this on different episodes because of Robin and a few other ones out there. But I don't know. It's just going to continue.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I find it terrible, awful, and I think it's wrong. Now, that being said,
unnecessary.
Now you're
excellent word, Skinner. Thank you very much.
You're not against. You're not. Just to be clear, you're not against certainly someone's personal beliefs and lifestyle. That's what I want to clear
up. But I want to address what Skinner just said. I love that word unnecessary because when I saw the Eternals, that was so unnecessary. You're just trying to force the issue. It wasn't necessary. So anyway, with that being said, I know what world I live in. I don't have blinders on, okay? And with people with art imitating life, if you want to be honest, that would have to be included, right?
Sure.
I can understand that. Let me say it that much. I don't have to like it, but I can understand it. But when you come to these characters should not be touched with their faith, with their sexual orientation, or anything like that, because it's called fantasy, where you can escape all that crap. We got enough argument and fighting and hatred going on in the real world with those subjects. These are fantasy subjects where we don't have to deal with that stuff. It shouldn't be included in the comic book world. But if you're going to do it, make a reporter friend be gay, or this person, that person, not the main characters. That's what people look at this stuff for, to escape real life. And now you bringing it, all the arguing and fighting that we got to deal with in real life, now you're bringing it to the fantasy world. Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah. At the same token, when's the last time you talked about Wonder Woman? I don't know.
Me every pretty much every day. But I mean, I wonder when a woman's going to come over and see me. I be wondering if my woman's going to call me.
That's good. Yeah. And when she does, she's bisexual. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Or maybe she's in the Batwoman court, you know? So I don't know.
Oh, this show's not going on the air. God,
yeah, that's interesting. That must be the largest. I mean, seriously, that is probably the most popular comic character so far that I could think of that's come out as gay or bisexual. I believe.
Yeah,
anyway,
without question.
You're talking the top of all comic book characters that exist. I mean, she's got to be in the top.
Is this a
top
test
10
run?
Anyway.
A test run? A prelude to a movie?
I don't know.
And it is also unnecessary. I can't say that enough.
You nailed it.
Yeah, you can find, if you look up online, just look up Wonder Woman bisexual. There are some video content out there, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. We won't discuss it.
I want to reiterate one more time. To all, if we have any listeners that may be gay or lesbian or whatever, certainly I have friends that are gay, I love dearly, whatever. I want to reiterate real good. I am a devout Christian, man of faith. You want to be more direct? I gave my heart to the Lord May 27, 2004. And I don't want to hear about Superman serving God. Okay? I want to be fair about that, okay? I don't want to hear about that because that's fantasy world, okay? Yeah. And I want everybody to enjoy Superman because that's not what it's about, okay? He's not a real person. So why bring controversy to, like Skinner said, it's unnecessary to a non-controversial world. So it's not about any way of a feeling towards anybody who's gay or lesbian. Because when I meet you, I don't give a crap what you are. You know what I'm saying? I love people. So it's not about that. It's just unnecessary.
Yep. All good points. Well, unfortunately, what is necessary
is this show to come to an end.
The show that come to an end. But first, for your listening pleasure, Mike Skinner is going to sing the 12 Days of Christmas, top to bottom.
You know what, Miss? I think he'd be better off singing Louis Armstrong.
Right.
I see streams of blood.
Yeah, there ain't nothing coming out left.
Oh, I don't wonder where else.
I know Skinner could sing the song Tequila right now. I'm not sure.
Give me the finger here in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick announcement.
Yes.
Those of you who listen to Spotify, next week, look up the Diamond Phillips Band. I'm very proud of this band I've been in, that they've accepted me in over a year now. We've been recording the album. The newest single, Accidental Angel. I am so proud of this song. It is a song dedicated to the first drummer of the band who died tragically last year. All of a sudden, I was honored to help write the song, to play the drum tracks. It'll be on Spotify, Accidental Angel by the Diamond Phillips Band. Please go check it out. And it's on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah, excellent. I will be appearing this Wednesday at Ignite Brewing Company in Barberton. Again, just drinking beer and playing trivia. That's it.
And signing autographs.
Yep. But I will be with my friend Dean and Nick, who and I do another podcast with those guys, Convincing Idiots, pop culture, nerdy stuff. So me and two other younger dudes, 3 generations. Check that out there on your favorite podcast platforms, Convincing Idiots, or find us on. Yeah. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. All right. So on that note here, Skinner, I'll give you a break here tonight. Rest the lungs a little bit here.
We love you, my brother.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody get well. And
good to be back, guys.
Absolutely. So for Michael Skinner and Keith Porter, I'm Brian Fisher. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. New episodes post every week. They came from Gen X. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay gnarly, Gen X.